Who's the greatest modern British boxer? We may never know. Tyson Fury has pulled the plug on a potential super fight with his longtime rival Anthony Joshua. So why did the fight fall through? And why does Dillian Whyte think Fury is deliberately sabotaging the fight? Plus, who is offering to fight Fury for free in December? Stay tuned for all of that and more coming right up. First up, Joshua stays in the top 10. Anthony Joshua hasn't won a fight since 2020. Despite that, the WBC has launched him straight into the top 10 in the world, making him eligible to challenge Tyson Fury for the WBC championship. WBC president Mauricio Suleiman explained that before his latest fight with Alexander Usyk, Joshua was technically unrated in the organization. The fact that he failed to win back the WBO, WBA, and IBF heavyweight titles from Usyk actually gave him a ranking with the WBC. That's because now he is not associated with other organizations. Suleiman said that Joshua had been given his WBC ranking based on merit. That means that his performance against Usyk and his past achievements as world champion have been used to qualify him. Most of the accepted ranking systems still have Joshua in the top 10, but some are higher than others. The WBO puts him at number 7, while the WBC has him at number 6. Many argue that Joshua doesn't deserve an immediate title shot against Fury, and that it should be Usyk instead, and that's what the Ukrainian wants too. The fight would unify the heavyweight division, but Usyk thinks that Fury is afraid. He said that he plans to outbox Fury now and fight more than just a title defense, but they will have to wait until next year after Usyk revealed that he was recovering from an injury. Meanwhile, Fury has accused Usyk of faking his injuries and instead trying to run from the Gypsy King. If it's not injuries, then it's something else holding up fights. Now, are they ready? After suffering a tough loss to Usyk in August this year, boxing fans are questioning how much of a threat Joshua actually poses to Fury, and some strange footage of his preparation has put some bigger question marks over his readiness. In a video posted on Joshua's social media, he shadowboxed the checkout of his local supermarket in Watford. As he threw hooks and uppercuts towards the camera, impatient shoppers were seen waiting behind him to check out. In the meantime, Tyson Fury doesn't seem to be too focused on his own training either. It's been reported that the heavyweight champion is buying a Nottingham pub for £300,000. What's even more strange was that he has only visited the pub twice before. Fury is famous for his drinking and went on a retirement tour where he popped up at several English pubs singing and entertaining patrons. But that retirement didn't last long, and now Fury is keen to close out the year by adding another win to his unbeaten record. Next up, boxing is a legal battlefield. Most fans of boxing might not realize how much work goes on behind the scenes. It's not just in the ring where the fight takes place. Boxing is one of the most complicated areas for negotiation too. That's why when heavyweight champion Tyson Fury set a deadline of Monday the 26th of September for the contract to be signed, some were pessimistic. Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn said that there was no chance of a deal being finalized in time, as there was still a lot to be done, and Joshua himself took to Instagram Live to explain the situation more thoroughly. Joshua claimed that he had the full intention to sign the contract, but that it was currently being reviewed by a team of lawyers. He said, "It ain't in my hands, it's with a legal team. That's why you hire lawyers." For all of us looking in from the outside, it seemed like a pretty simple process. The contract is signed and then they're good to go. But Joshua and Hearn have told the public that the reality is much more complicated, and these agreements are not finalized in a matter of days. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury is taking it as a sign of surrender from Joshua. He posted a video to Instagram stating that it was officially over for Joshua now that the deadline had passed. But what does that mean for Fury? Is he still coming out of retirement? If so, who is he going to fight? Up next, who is the German heavyweight offering to fight Fury for free? And what are Anthony Joshua's options going forward? So don't go anywhere. Moving on. In boxing, there's always a backup, and there are plenty of fighters who can't wait to get their chance in the ring with the undefeated champion Tyson Fury. But Fury wants to fight again before the year is finished to set up a long-awaited unification fight with Alexander Usyk. Waiting in line behind Anthony Joshua was German heavyweight Mahmoud Char, who has been calling out Fury for months. Char has called himself a world-class fighter and challenged either Fury or Joshua to a fight anywhere in the world. Char definitely doesn't have the same star power as Joshua, but does have a strong record of 33-4, which includes 19 knockouts. He is also a former WBA title holder, and Fury has had some positive words about his next opponent. After Joshua's deadline passed, Fury said, "Looking forward to fighting a man who wants to fight and has fire and desire." This seemed to be another dig at Anthony Joshua, who was criticized in his last two losses to Alexander Usyk for not showing enough heart. It's been a long fall from the top for Joshua in recent years. After 22 undefeated fights, he lost to huge underdog Andy Ruiz Jr. to lose the heavyweight title, before again losing it to Usyk last year. The rematch was much of the same, with the Ukrainian unboxing and outclassing his British opponent, so it's not a surprise that Fury wants to move on from AJ. But but it doesn't change the fact that fans are dying to see it. Let's talk about how Char signs a deal. It's not just in negotiations. Apparently, Mahmoud Char has already signed an agreement to face Tyson Fury. In an interview, Char revealed that he had signed a contract to fight promoter Frank Warren's 3 fighters. Those are Tyson Fury, Daniel Dubois, and Joe Joyce. While Char said that he's ready for all of them, he wants to go up against the Gypsy King first. And Char added a cherry on top to sweeten the deal. He said that if Joshua doesn't sign, then Fury should face him because he isn't concerned with money. He said, "I will fight for free. I'm a real fighter. I'm not looking for money. I'm looking for legacy. If Fury takes him up on this offer, then that would go some way to compensating him for the loss of money he would have earned with a super fight against Joshua." But Char's comments suggest that AJ still has a chance of sealing the deal. If that's the case, Fury's outbursts on social media may just be a negotiation tactic to put pressure on Joshua's camp. Fury's promoter Frank Warren said that their team was working very hard, but they sent the contract to Joshua's team almost 2 weeks ago and that they were losing patience. There is a glimmer of hope for British boxing fans, though. Warren and Hearn confirmed that they recently had a meeting and that it went well. Next up, Dillian Whyte offers a fight. A man who knows a lot about both Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is Dillian Whyte. The American has had only 2 losses in his professional career, with 2 of those coming to Joshua and Fury. In fact, Fury's last fight was a win against Whyte, after which he announced his retirement. Now Whyte has some harsh words for Fury if he really wants to go through with a super fight against Joshua. Whyte said that while he's not a fan of either of them, the way that Fury has been negotiating business online with public outbursts is not helping move things along. He said, "Big fights, sometimes it pays off to be patient and just shut his big mouth up a bit and stop talking shit." Whyte said that if Fury really wanted the fight to go through, then he would relax and let the process take its course. He reminded him that there are a lot of things at stake, which is why it's taking some time. This is more or less what Joshua and Eddie Hearn have said about the situation. Finally, Whyte offered Joshua another option if the fight with Fury falls through. The former WBC champion said that he would be willing to go up against Joshua in December at late notice. Whyte knows that Joshua is already training and preparing for a Fury fight, which is why he thinks it would be no problem for Whyte to step in as a late replacement. He said, "If Joshua is willing to take Fury on, I'll step up and take the fight." Do you think that Fury will ever fight Joshua, or would you prefer a different fight? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one.